Does anybody want to hear an interesting stat?
Of course.
Here's an interesting stat.
Of course we do.
So, Ian, in the comment section of all my videos, I get told Austin's so unaffordable.
Yeah.
Don't buy in Austin. Austin's terrible. It's unaffordable. It's all this. So today I went through, Ian, and I did the numbers. So in 2022, Jaden, this is going to be a good clip for you here for short. So everybody's telling me that Austin is not affordable, that it's so expensive to live in. And I agree. The interest rates make everything a lot tougher right now. But absolutely. Would you believe this statistic that I pulled from the MLS today, from the 5 counties we live in, the MSA? Last year, 22% of homes that sold last year were under 400. 22 up to this time last year. So up to, what are we, August 30th? So I did the numbers up to August 30th. At this point, 22%. Yeah. What do you think that number shakes out to be?
I'm going to say, let's say
we'll give you, okay, perfect. So it's 5,202 homes last year by this time closed, under 400K. Give a wild,
hold on.
Under 400.
5,000 homes.
So out of the 23,630 closed up to this point.
Oh, 630. Okay.
Last year. So 23,000 at this time last year, we had 23,630, 22%, which was 5,202 homes were under 400K.
That's pretty impressive. I would not have guessed that.
Okay. That's 2022.
Yeah.
What do you think the percent of homes sold under 400K in 2023 to this point, August 30th is?
I'm going to say the percentage probably doubled. So I'm going to go with, let's say a 45%.
Okay. In the comment section below, you're saying that homes are super expensive in Austin. Of the 20,000, we're down 3,000 closings to this point from last year to this year. Of the 20,561 homes in the comments, I want to hear from you. What percent or how many homes do you think sold under 400K?
Just to be clear, this is all the 5-county MSA. This is not Austin proper.
Correct.
So, right. Okay. This includes your Kyle, your Buda, maybe even a offshoot in San Marcos or something like that, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So you said 45%.
Yeah.
Would you
I
like
think it's
to know?
Pretty high percent.
It is.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. So Brett asked a very good question. Is this single family or does this also include condos, townhomes?
Everything. This is everything.
Everything. Got it.
Right. And I did it for both.
Yeah.
Right. So I did it for both. And you'd be surprised how many were not actually condos. It was a lot of single family. So
yeah, especially new construction out in Gerald and
36% of the closings up to now are under 400K. That number went from 5,200 last year to almost 7,600.
Yeah.
So the point I'm making with this and why I'm drawing this out is everyone keeps telling me how expensive the market is. And I agree, with interest rates, it is not as cheap. Yet people are finding homes under 400K in this market right now, and they are closing at a much higher rate than they were in 2022.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It makes a lot of sense.
John says, I still understand the thinking that Austin is unaffordable. My friend in Seattle just purchased a 20-year-old home that was 2,100 square foot for $950K.
So I have a buddy, we just did a referral out there. They closed, and similar thing, 20-year-old home. It was like $740,000 for 2,200 square feet. I could be off with that number, but it wasn't a lot. It wasn't a large home for that price. It did come on a little bit more land. But I think when you're comparing that to what you're getting for in Austin or in Seattle and these other places, that's.
So speaking of, thank you for that. Thanks for covering me there. So speaking of interest rates, though, here's something I think you're going to find interesting, because I've heard there's a guy named like the Real Estate Ninja or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I came across his channel. Yeah. And it was about this Zillow thing that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
And I got to admit, man, I watched him, and I don't know the guy. I haven't watched very many of his videos, but he went off on a tirade about how he used to get all of these cheap loans. He'd get everybody to give part of their commissions. And I don't know. That guy seems like a major sleazeball. And then when he was, I mean, just from what I saw in this video, maybe he's not. You tell me in the comments, is he a sleazeball? I don't know. But I just felt like he was like, it was interesting because he was like talking about how he was the problem in the 2008 crash. I'm like, do you not hear yourself? Anyway, so Zillow comes out with this 1% loan program.
Yes.
I want to get your take on this, Ian, and we'll read through it here. Our friends over at BAM put out an article about this. What are your thoughts on this Zillow program that is going to potentially give buyers the ability to do 1% down?
All right, let's go through it. More accessible.
So the monthly payment isn't the only cost to consider before applying for a mortgage loan. Many, the upfront cost of down payment is daunting enough. Many prospective first-time home buyers are saying the high rates, which make saving money more difficult. The majority of 64% first-time home buyers are making down payments of less than 20%. I mean, my first home, I put, I think, 3.5% down. So basically what this does is to make homeownership accessible for these buyers. Zillow Home Loans is now offering 1% down payment programs. Eligible buyers can pay 1% of the final purchase price, and Zillow will pitch an additional 2% of closing for a total of 3%.
So there's so many variables in there, and usually there's some fine print that they're not covering. Redfin does 100%. This a lot. So like question number one, do you have to use Zillow's every other company, use Zillow's insurance company, use Zillow's mortgage, use like everything with Zillow in order to make that work? Use Zillow real estate agents where you're actually either taking it out of their commission or something to that effect. So that's the number one. Number two is, are they increasing the sales price or the fees to make it a larger amount that you're paying for long term, just so you can get that money shorter term? That coverage shorter term. That's generally how these types of things work. But I haven't read through the entire article to be able to ascertain whether or not that's true.
Right. So here's the deal. And I think people need to understand. So when I was watching the Real Estate Ninja's take on this, he basically was like, oh, this is what caused the 2008 crash is this. Let's be 100% clear. This is a marketing ploy by Zillow. So 100%. if you're a home buyer right now and you're out there in the market, there are first-time home buyer programs. So there are plenty of, in fact, I've sold, I can't tell you how many in the last 3 years, well, really like 17, 18, 19, there's what was called a T-Shack loan. There was all of these buyer assistant down payment loans. They're back. Yeah, T-Shack's back. And so what it did was you'd still had to finance the 3%, but they would upload it up front. So if you sold your home, you still have to give this 2% back. And so these loans may be similar to that. They may not be, but Zillow's not going to chip in another 2% realistically. This is a ploy to get more people to come in and use Zillow services. Is 100% what it is, because all of these lenders out there offer similar programs where they do a 0% down. I mean, think about it. VA has been a 0% down for a long time. You still have to qualify for these loans. It's not like anybody can get these loans. Thanks for watching this short of the Real Amigos podcast. For more live streams, hit here. For more clips, hit here. We'll catch you on the next one.